Making money online, passive income, drop shipping, Amazon FBA. I'm sure you've heard a lot of these buzzwords on YouTube and throughout the internet in regards to making money online. Most likely you have some level of disbelief in making money online. And trust me, I was the same exact way as you when I was getting started with my journey to start making money on the internet. But after seeing behind the internet and brokering more than $120 million worth of online businesses, I've seen every way possible to make money online through legitimate means. In this video today, I'm going to explain every way possible to make money online, the pros and cons to each business model, and then also talk about how much capital is needed, some of the business models, what the differences are, and then all the other nuances that go into building an online business. So let's go ahead and dig into how to make money online with building an internet-based business. So there's about 15 different ways to make money online that I've broken down into different categories. Of these 15 different types of business models, I like to break it down into 3 different categories. Number 1 is going to be content businesses. Number 2 is going to be physical products or e-commerce. And then number 3 is just going to be everything else. So we'll go ahead and start off with content businesses and exactly what that is. So content businesses are essentially going to be ranking on Google through blog content, through written word, through some sort of way to start getting traffic from search engines. This is normally through writing hundreds of different articles, ranking these articles on Google, and then once you're starting to get traffic from Google, figuring out a way to monetize that. And each one of these content businesses is going to have a different monetization strategy. And one thing to note about content businesses is a lot of times they'll start off with one strategy for monetization and then start adding in different layers, so that way they have a diversification of monetization. So the 3 main types of content sites are Amazon Associates, display advertising, and affiliate marketing. So those are the 3 main content businesses, and we're going to start kicking it off about what exactly is Amazon Associates. So Amazon Associates is an affiliate program essentially created by Amazon, and it's actually one of the biggest affiliate programs out there in the world. There's hundreds of thousands of Amazon affiliate users. I'm sure you've seen their links on YouTube. If you've read a blog post recently that's directed you to Amazon, any of these businesses are being monetized by Amazon affiliate, or better known as Amazon Associates. The business model is essentially taking clicks over to Amazon from your blog. If that person clicks your link, is redirected over to Amazon, and then purchases something, you'll essentially get a commission for that referral or for that purchase. Now let's say you have a blog post about the best digital cameras to buy in 2022, and the number 1 post is going to be about the top Canon cameras. So if somebody on that is reading that blog and they click your affiliate link and it's redirecting them to Amazon, let's say they go ahead and buy that Canon camera, but then they also buy a few other things in their shopping cart, you'll essentially get a commission or a cut from Amazon for referring that person over and having them actually take action and complete a checkout. So this is essentially one of the easiest ways to get started with an online business, because it's relatively simple and straightforward, and it doesn't require a lot of capital. So in regards to capital, I've seen some Amazon affiliate or Amazon Associates business be built for just a few $100s. So all you're gonna need is the domain hosting. The hosting is usually around $5 per month. You're gonna need to buy a domain. That's usually between $10 to $15 per year. And then the big portion is going to come from actually writing the content. So if you're a writer yourself, of course you can do that, and you can save thousands and thousands of dollars by writing the blog content for your business. The 4th thing is going to be getting backlinks to your website. A lot of times you can't rank a website unless you're getting links from other platforms and other blogs that is essentially showing that your blog has some authority to Google. Now, SEO is a very complex and complicated thing. This is just the kind of 80-20 to it. Essentially, you need good content, and then you need backlinks to your website. So if you're able to do a lot of that stuff on your own, you can really start this business for a few $100s. If you're going to outsource the content to somebody else, that might cost a few $1,000s to get 20 or 30 initial blog posts. And if you're going to outsource the link building, I would say that's going to cost between $200 to $500 per month. Now that's on the averages. Of course, there's going to be highs and lows and a lot of different tactics for ranking your business on Google. So that's just more of the averages of what I've seen. But you could actually get an Amazon Associates site up and running for a pretty reasonable price. So the main way that Amazon affiliate sites make money is referring people over to Amazon, and then for every purchase that person makes, you're getting a small commission. These commission percentages can range from 5 to 10%. It's gonna depend on what category the products were in. So music equipment is going to get a different percentage than food items, than sports equipment. All of these different categories are gonna have a little bit different breakdown, and depending on the category, you might be getting 10% of that referral, or you might be getting 5% of that referral. So a lot of times, it's kind of a smart thing to figure out even before you start making your Amazon Associates business, which category is gonna pay you out the highest percentage, and then focusing on products and niches that are going to be relative to that high paying percentage affiliate commission fee. So Amazon affiliate businesses are some of the most passive businesses I've ever seen. And a lot of times they're only requiring about 1 to 2 hours per month to maintain these businesses. The initial 3 to 6 months is going to require a little bit more of your active time to get these businesses up and running. But once your business is ranking on Google, this process normally takes around 12 months, but it's really only 3 months of active work, and the rest of the time is just waiting for your content to start ranking on Google. So once you have the business up and running, it's going to be fairly passive. And one thing to note is if you're going to be making an Amazon affiliate business, it's probably smart to look at the tier commissions and then try to find a business or niche that's going to give you the highest payout on Amazon Associates. So just one last thing to note about Amazon Associates. I've seen a lot of people make mistakes with this. They create their website, they sign up for Amazon affiliate, but they aren't getting traffic to their website. So Amazon, to get approved for the affiliate program, you actually have to have real legitimate sales come through your website. So if your website isn't getting any traffic, it's a lot lower chances of the business actually getting approved for the affiliate program. So what I suggest is making sure you're getting at least 1,000, 2,000 visitors per month, and then start signing up for Amazon affiliate. But again, if you're doing something that's very high ticket, like $1,000 cameras or laptops, it might be a lot harder to get sales than if you're doing something like iPhone cases where it's a lot lower. So you really have to consider your niche to really figure out what is the sweet spot. But essentially be careful about that. Make sure your website's actually getting traffic before you sign up for the Amazon affiliate program. So display advertising, if you've ever been on a website, I'm sure you've seen some of those annoying little images that actually look like a movie or a video, and it's promoting some product or some service. That's essentially a display advertisement. And if you click those advertisements, then the person whose website is getting a commission for those clicks, and if you end up purchasing something as well. So display advertising, one of the biggest platforms is Google AdSense. This is going to be, again, one of the easiest ways to get started. But with display advertising, it's really going to vary on what your niche is, what type of business you have, or what type of website you have, because something in the finance industry is going to get paid a lot higher amount than something in the travel industry. The reason is the people who are wanting to pay for advertisements in the finance industry just have a larger budget. They're able to pay more for the cost per click than somebody in the travel industry, and it really has to do with the margins and marketing budget. So if you're going into display advertising, again, really thinking about the niche that's going to be not so competitive, is going to pay you a higher cost per click, and is going to be easier to rank on Google. All of these factors are extremely important in building a display advertising business. And one of the cool things about all these content sites is display advertisement will work very good on Amazon affiliate. So I suggest starting with Amazon affiliate, start getting traffic. Once you're approved for the Amazon affiliate program, then you can start adding display ads because you'll start having enough traffic. So there's Google AdSense, there's Mediavine, there's a lot of other display advertisement networks out there, but they're all going to come with a few pros and cons. Start with Google AdSense. Once you start making some money on there, look at some alternative options. And if you're getting a lot of traffic to your website, around 25, 30,000 page views per month, then you can consider jumping off of Google AdSense to other platforms that are just going to pay you higher amounts of money for each click you're getting. So the great thing about display advertisement is, again, there's not much capital needed. Like I mentioned with Amazon Associates, it's going to be the same sort of business structure, 2 to 3 months of building good quality content, building backlinks, and generating traffic. So as soon as you're able to generate traffic, you can put ads throughout your entire site, and then when people click those ads, you'll essentially get paid for each one of those clicks. Now again, with display advertisements, similar to Amazon Associates, it's one of the most passive business styles I've seen. And again, these businesses are only gonna need around 1 to 2 hours a month once they've already kind of been established, and all you have to do is maintain the business. Now, Amazon Associates is essentially an affiliate program, but there's hundreds and thousands of other affiliate programs. ClickBank is another big one where you can essentially find any sort of product that might not be found on Amazon. Let's say it's a digital product, a course, or some other type of service that you want to refer people to. Now, there's some big examples of the Airbnb affiliate program where they essentially got popular by referring friends. This is kind of a similar structure where for whoever you're referring, if they buy that product, you're going to get a commission. Now, the cool thing about these private affiliate networks is instead of talking about the 4 to 5 or 10% with Amazon affiliate, with these private affiliate networks, you might get 30%, 40%. In some cases, you might get 50% of the actual referral credits. So if you refer somebody to buy a program or course for $1,000, a lot of times they're gonna give a lot bigger portion over to you. So you might get $300 or $400 for each referral you make. So this is one of the biggest differences. Essentially, Amazon Associates is a really great way to start, but as you kind of venture off, you might find some better affiliate deals that are going to pay you a lot more money. Now, the biggest difference between this is about 50% of the US population has an Amazon account. They've got their credit card stored, they've got all their details there. You just go ahead and refer them over to Amazon, so the conversions are so much higher. You're converting a lot more people through Amazon, but it's gonna be a smaller amount of the actual money you're getting, where on the private affiliate, it's probably gonna be a lower conversion, but you're gonna get more money for each person that you're referring. So as far as startup capital for affiliate businesses, it's going to be exactly the same as display advertisement and Amazon Associates. You're gonna need that initial domain, hosting, and then essentially creating that content, and then building backlinks to your website to generate more traffic. Again, this is going to be all fairly similar, and I suggest most people starting off with Amazon Associates, once they have that up and running, Google AdSense, and then after that, looking into private affiliate networks where they can start getting more money for the traffic that they're bringing. But again, having a hybrid approach is going to make your business a lot more valuable because you have 3 different sources of monetization on your website instead of just one. So the next category, we're gonna be talking about e-commerce. Now, this is gonna be things that normally deal with a physical product. So it's gonna be Amazon FBA, which is fulfilled by Amazon. It's gonna be traditional e-commerce businesses, which is usually fulfilled through a platform like Shopify. Then you're gonna have drop shipping, which involves physical products, but you're not actually touching any of the inventory. And then lastly, we're gonna have number 4, which is Amazon FBM, which is fulfilled by merchant. Now, all of these are going to have a little bit variance in what they involve for running and setting up a business, but they're going to be fairly similar in some aspects. So we'll go ahead and dig into each one individually. So Amazon FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon, and this is a huge market for people that probably have bought anything on Amazon. So if you bought a product on Amazon, you've most likely bought something from an individual who has an Amazon FBA business, meaning they are a third-party seller. When you buy something on Amazon, you're not necessarily buying it from Amazon itself, you're buying it from a third-party individual who's most likely sourcing that product from another country or another location. So Amazon FBA is actually making up almost half of Amazon's revenue. These third-party sellers are a very big part to what makes Amazon such a huge company. So the startup capital for an Amazon FBA business is going to be a lot more than a previous businesses we talked about as far as content businesses. The reason behind this is you're normally going to need to order a lot more upfront inventory. So with an Amazon FBA business, an e-commerce business, or Amazon FBM, you're going to need to source at least a minimum order, and a lot of times you're going to be sourcing $10,000, $20,000 worth of inventory to get that first delivery. And essentially the way this works is you find a manufacturer, most likely in Asia or China, you find a product that you're going to really enjoy and think it's going to do well selling on Amazon, and you're going to send this product from China over to the United States. It's going to be sent to an Amazon warehouse, and with Amazon FBA, basically once you get the products there, Amazon kind of does the rest of the heavy lifting. They're going to do the fulfillment. So essentially when somebody buys something, they're going to send that individual package to the individual who bought it. They're going to deal with any customer service, any returns, maintaining the web servers that go into running Amazon. So essentially what you have to worry about as an Amazon FBA owner is a lot of different things, but you're gonna have to be good at sourcing products from China, marketing your products on Amazon. So you'll have organic traffic, but you'll also have opportunities to use paid advertisement to increase your products. The other thing is getting great photos, getting a great description on Amazon, and primarily finding products that are gonna do well. That's a big part of the battle. So it's going to take a lot more capital and a little bit more time to get started than an Amazon content site. But the great thing about Amazon is there's so many things being bought and sold on there that there's a lot of opportunities to get started making money with Amazon FBA. So Amazon FBA businesses are usually pretty passive. Again, a lot of these business models are going to require a lot of upfront work. With an Amazon FBA business, you have to do the product research. You have to figure out, maybe you're ordering a few test items from China to make sure that it's working out the way that you like, making sure that the product is actually a good fit. So after you've done that initial research, you're gonna be ordering your first minimum orders from a manufacturer, sending them to China. Now all this can take between 3 to 6 months if you know exactly what you're doing, but if you're just getting started, it can take a little bit longer. So the process is gonna require a little bit more capital and a little bit more time, but once you kind of get going, it can really have great results. Now there are so many different nuances that go into running each one of these businesses, so I'm giving you the more condensed version. Of course, there's a lot more stuff that goes on behind the scenes, but I'm just trying to give you the bulk sort of information here, so that way you're not overwhelmed. Otherwise, we'd be here for hours and hours. Now with Amazon FBA, there are a few different verticals. There's wholesaling, there's private label, there's a few other ways, but essentially what I've seen for brokering deals, the best way to make money on Amazon is by making your own products. And this is essentially considered private label, where you're building your own products. Maybe you're finding a similar product and improving upon it, but you're still building some sort of brand behind that business. So at the end of the day, a business that has a brand associated with it is going to do much better than just a bunch of random products. So dropshipping is another very popular online business model, and the reason it's become so popular is you don't need $10,000 or $20,000 to really get started. The difference between Amazon FBA and dropshipping is you're not actually dealing with the inventory. The inventory is essentially not being sent until the person or customer acquires it. So with dropshipping, you're essentially having your customers buy the product, and then once it's bought, it's being sent from usually overseas directly to that customer. It's essentially a different way of getting the product from point A to point B. It's a little bit different, and each part of this is going to have a little bit of pros and cons. But the great side about dropshipping is you don't need to invest $20,000 in inventory. All you need to do is create a Shopify store, get some products up there that are eligible for dropshipping, and then start getting traffic to your website. A lot of times people are getting traffic through paid advertisements, through social media posting, and essentially once you're driving traffic, somebody's going to buy a product through there. You're never going to touch this product. It's going to go directly from the manufacturer in Asia to wherever that individual customer is located. A lot of times it's going to come from China directly to somebody in the United States. The downside is for same-day shipping with Amazon, it might take 2 to 3 weeks to get the product over from China. So that's going to be something that can be a little bit difficult. I've seen a lot of solutions to this where people have found drop shippers in the United States, or they've figured out a faster way to get their products over from China. All you need to do is make a Shopify store. That's something that you can do fairly quickly. It's going to take a couple weeks. It's not going to cost more than a couple $100s. And then once you have your Shopify store up and running, the big expense is going to be your customer acquisition costs. That's essentially getting traffic to your website, usually through Facebook advertisements, Instagram ads, Google Shopping, a variety of other ways to get people onto your store. And then essentially, if you're spending $1 for getting somebody to your store and they're buying $5 worth of stuff, it's going to really help out. The only other cost you're gonna have is potentially some shipping, but those shipping costs can be passed on to the customers. So how does drop shipping businesses actually make money? It's fairly simple. So you're gonna find products from China, you're gonna figure out the prices. Let's say, for example, you have one product selling at $15, so you're able to add whatever price you wanna sell that on. So let's say you put it on your website for $30, and that includes the shipping. So whenever somebody buys that product, you're gonna be netting $15 in profit. Now that's gonna, of course, come into consideration with your ad spend, but let's say you spent $5 to acquire that customer. So you've got $15 that you owe to the actual product, the shipping is included, and then you have $5 for your customer acquisition. That's going to your Facebook ads. So you sold a $30 product for essentially $20 of your own cost. And that margin is going to be how you actually make money with a dropshipping business. These businesses are mainly going to require you to do things like paid ads, managing your store, managing any refunds or returns. So overall, dropshipping businesses are fairly passive. E-commerce businesses are another great way to make money online, and they're gonna be fairly similar to Amazon FBA and also with dropshipping, but they're gonna be kind of in the middle. So with e-commerce, you're still probably gonna be sourcing products from China or from some other part in the world, but the only difference is you're going to have to do the fulfillment yourself. So a lot of people start off by ordering stuff from China, sending it to their house, building a Shopify business, and then selling those products and actually going ahead, putting the products in boxes, filling them up, and sending them out. Now this is a great way to get started because you don't have to, worry about a fulfillment center. You don't have to worry about, all these other expenses that Amazon's going to take. So if you're able to essentially figure out a method to handle more of the process yourself, you're gonna get a higher return. So you're gonna have better margins with an e-commerce business in most cases. Dropshipping is going to essentially require different skill sets. You're going to need to be good at acquiring customers through Facebook advertisements and other online advertisements. With an Amazon FBA business, you might be able to fulfill a lot of your orders just with organic traffic. And then e-commerce is essentially, you're gonna need to be good at acquiring customers through your own tactic, most likely through advertisements. You're also going to need to be good at the fulfillment process, is sending the products out to people. So you're taking on more of the responsibility where dropshipping and FBA has kind of outsourced pieces of that. But with e-commerce, you're going to get a higher margin, so you're going to get to keep more of your money because you haven't really delegated the fulfillment or the customer acquisition to other departments. So e-commerce is going to have an initial cost from ordering those bulk orders from China or from a manufacturer. They're going to have other costs from building the website, which it's not super expensive to make a Shopify store. Also, you're going to need to figure out how to acquire customers, and that's going to be your big cost, is how much are you spending on advertisements. Those are going to be the main things that you need to figure out. And then also with e-commerce, what are the costs of actually boxing, putting in an envelope versus putting in a box, the shipping costs, all that stuff you're gonna have to figure out. So it might be a little bit more complicated. So e-commerce is gonna be a fairly similar way to make money. You're gonna be essentially billing people directly through your Shopify website, taking the money directly and then sending them the product. So you're making money directly. You're going to keep whatever margin. So if you buy something from China, you get it over to your house at $10 per product, then you're able to sell it for $30. But again, you don't have to pay as much for shipping because it's already in the United States. It might cost a couple dollars to ship it, and then you're gonna keep that margin as well. So e-commerce, FBA, I feel like all these businesses have fairly similar passiveness. It's really gonna depend on what type of structure you have, how streamlined your business is, how streamlined your fulfillment is. So I would say e-commerce businesses in the beginning, because you haven't outsourced a lot of these areas, are gonna be a little less passive than FBA or dropshipping. So Amazon FBM, or Fulfilled by Merchant, is going to be, again, a little bit similar to dropshipping, e-commerce, and Amazon FBA. The biggest difference here is you're going to have your product listed on Amazon, and instead of Amazon sending the products out to customers, you're going to have to fulfill that role yourself. That's why it's called Fulfilled by Merchant. So if a customer orders a product through Amazon.com, with Amazon FBA, you don't have to worry about that. They're going to fulfill that product. They're going to send it from their warehouse. But with FBM, Fulfilled by Merchant, you're going to have to box it up, put it in an envelope, send the shipping, and actually fulfill that product to the customer. That's the biggest difference between the FBM and Amazon FBA. So with Amazon FBM, your costs are going to be a little bit lower because you're not having to pay Amazon those fees for holding your inventory. So with Amazon FBM, you're going to essentially have a business structure that you're fulfilling the products yourself. So you're gonna have more money there because you're not having to pay Amazon those storage facility fees, the fulfillment fees. So at the end of the day, Fulfilled by Merchant is another great option, but it's fairly similar to FBA. The only big difference is you're fulfilling the products yourself. So I hope you liked the first part of this episode about how to make money online with passive businesses. This is gonna be part one. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and then hit that bell notification icon so you get notified about when part two comes out, where we'll be talking about some really interesting business models, where we'll be talking about software businesses, applications, everything in between. So stick around for that because there's gonna be some of my favorite business models in that video. So make sure you're subscribed so you get notified when that video goes live next week.